One of the longest trips in the AFL to Metricon Stadium, and a result that not many saw coming. West Coast ending up with a draw in the end against the lowly placed Gold Coast Suns, and it really does set the scene for a monster game against the Hawks this Saturday night. Benny Roberts, who took the flight over there, a draw's a draw, and Gold Coast had all the momentum in the last minute and a half, but it would feel like a loss in the West Coast camp.
Yeah, no, look, tough. You never really know what to feel from the boys' perspective after the game when that happens. But the first draw for the club since '03, so no practice in this scenario for the boys. So foreign territory. Bunga said after the game it feels like a bit of a loss only because it's not a win, but. Anyway, look forward.
It will be a great learning experience from the players, knowing how to run that clock down and do what the classier teams can do, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you've got to take some lessons out of it, and they had the footy with about a minute to go and a goal in the bag, so a goal ahead. So, you know, next time perhaps they might do things differently. Who knows? I mean, that's just football sometimes.
Schofield talked about Lynch actually sneaking off down the contest there, and kind of they didn't really know that he had snuck down and coming from the side. It was actually very well thought through by Lynch, and tremendous amount of composure to slot the goal under great pressure.
Yeah, I actually watched the last quarter from behind the goals on the plane back.
Just in the cheer squad, were you, mate?
on the flight back, I watched it, and they actually didn't know he was there. He sucked out the back and sort of was hiding in the crowd, if you like Scully said. So
I think when Callum Sinclair went down clutching his knee in the first quarter, West Coast fans thought the absolute worst. Having an amazing breakout season at the moment, Sinclair as the backup ruck. And just remarkably so, he was back in later that quarter.
Lazarus. Simo thought he was done. He thought the worst. Sinkers thought of the worst. I thought straight away, oh no, what's happened here? But luckily he's back and played out the game well.
Yeah, composed himself towards goal at the back end, especially when the West Coast were missing a fair few in that final quarter. With such a close game, it does make the mind wander of certain moments in the game that could have gone either way, that could have made a big difference on the result. What about the Matt Rosa touch on the line? That was an interesting one. It kind of looked like it went through, but no goalpost camera. They weren't able to overturn it.
Yeah, I mean, there's the ones that you just don't know 100%, and I guess until there's cameras on every goal line, this sort of thing can happen. But I actually missed the event. I was inside on my laptop, obviously enjoying the game lots. Yeah, look, what can you do?
Tremendous amount of praise must go to Will Schofield, I think, to hold the back line together as he's done. Obviously, your injury to Jeremy McGovern, who they wouldn't have thought would be such a pillar of defence the way he is in 2015, but no Brown, no McKenzie, just holding up quite a big deal, and I think deserves a fair bit of praise from us.
Absolutely, playing a lot bigger and taller than he has in the past. Everyone would sort of see Scully, especially coming into the year, as a slick, running, skillful defender, rebounding defender. So he's changed his game, he's playing much deeper, and he's done very, very well, I agree.
Glad that Pritter wasn't picking his jaw up of Metricon Stadium. This one very close to him. Missing weeks, and so was the bloke that almost hit him. Luckily, just escaped through and got back on the ground as well.
Yeah, there was a couple of times, actually, Pritter went very close to being knocked into next week, but just missed him, and lucky for us, he stayed on.
Not many opportunities that Shannon Hurn gets to have shots at goal, but when he got his opportunity from the slide in under the knee, whatever you think of the rule, it was certainly there, but Shannon Hurn slotting a goal, that couldn't get any straighter. The thought beckons, later in the career, would you throw him forward, being such an accurate kick at goal?
He could. If you give it to him anywhere within 80 metres, he's a chance. So, you know, late in the game, 5 points down, chip it to Bunga on the wing, and actually at training on Friday, he sent through a barrel from about 70 metres, just walking off the track cages like, so maybe.
Didn't get that on camera, did you?
No.
Yep, cheers, mate.
Sorry.
What about, there's some great grabs on the weekend as well. We had 3 rippers. Shannon Hurn was among one of them. JK's one-hander mark in the forward line. That was sensational effort.
Dewy conditions too.
I know, but I thought, Dom Sheed, that is one of the gutsiest marks I have seen on a footy field in some time. I wouldn't have gone for it. You can pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars. They would send me into next week.
It was sort of a reverse Jonathan Brown. If remember that one of the MCG where we sort of ran forwards into a pack?
Hard to forget.
It was like a reverse one of those. Little Dommy, good on you, mate.
A couple of special mentions before we sign off. I thought Darling's contest at the start of the fourth quarter really set the scene. His impact in that tackle to make the ball spill free for Elliot Yeo to kick the first goal, I thought that was clutch. Well worth a kudos from the panel here.
Yep, lots of tackles from JD as always. Geez, he works hard like all our forwards do, so that was great. How about, this is one from me, Sharrod Wellingham, the old look away spoil. Very dangerous, very easy to get wrong, and in front of goal, quite dangerous to attempt, but high degree of difficulty. high degree of praise coming your way, Sharad. Well done.
It was a good effort. It's time for the roast of the round. Thanks for everyone that sent in the roast. Just the 2 people this week. So it's climbing, Benny. It's climbing. We're going to get the first roast. Apparently, we put a space in between the hashtag the roast. So thanks to our design department there for stitching us.
Was that us or our designer?
We'll say it's a designer if you don't mind. We're going to kick it off though with Sinclair's shot at goal. Gee, he looks a bit different, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's grown a bit, Elliot.
Yeah. That was an interesting
How
one.
the old graphics department going in the old production truck?
Looking for work, I think. What about the West Coast Eagle contingent in the Crown? They had good support, but then trying to put Brandon Matera off for his shot on goal, that's an interesting choice, isn't it?
Distasteful.
Yeah, and didn't really affect him too much. Slot it right down the middle. But the winner, we just praised him before, Shara Wellingham. Shades of Eric McKenzie, switch in play, hitting the old behind post. Shara Wellingham's done the exact same thing, conceding the behind when he wasn't meant to, especially after he took a little dive and got a free kick to, if you don't mind. And old Charlie Dixon went up to him and said, yeah, have some of that, mate.
Well, Easy was up on the Gold Coast at the weekend, and obviously he's had a word to Sharad before the game. Look, if things get tense, this is what you can do to try and throw the Gold Coast off.
Lighten the mood. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.